Thank you for joining us, everybody. We're Ashraya here at the Mini Mantra Room, and it's very nice to have your company here for Sunday nights. We're excited to spend the next hour and a half with you. There's a lot of heartache in the world right now. A lot of people's hearts are hurting, and with these beautiful transcendental sounds, we'd like to help to soothe that heartache and bring about a peaceful environment in people's hearts and also in the world. So please help us by sharing. It'd be really lovely to share this Kirtan all around the world. So you can you can do that in a few different ways. You can start a watch party on your page, invite your friends and your family to come and watch tonight with you. You can tag people who you think might enjoy this Kirtan in the comments below the video. And we're on YouTube, we're on a bunch of different Facebook pages streaming, so please share the love and help us share these beautiful transcendental sound all around the world.
Yeah, and maybe see if you can find some people in out-of-the-way places, out-of-the-way countries, out-of-the-way places like France and Germany and, outback Australia.
Bolivia,
yeah. So, you can kind of track down some kind of paths to kind of try and infiltrate other countries with this beautiful Kirtan experience. That would be great.
Also on Facebook, a lot of people are in different groups, different meditation and spiritual awareness groups.
Knitting groups, doesn't really matter anyway.
If you're in any groups and it's appropriate, and let's see, you just never know whose heart will be touched and whose lives can be changed by this beautiful transcendental sounds.
So let's get on with the next part of our wonderful evening. So we'll have a guided meditation now. I know many of you are familiar with it, but some of you may not have done this before. Need to know, we get to a point where we synchronize, harmonize our breathing, and then after that we add transcendental sound, a mantra. Mantra means spiritual sound, transcendental sound. And we use the Gauranga mantra in this meditation, which has 4 syllables. Gaur, Ra, Ang, Ga. And the idea is, as the whole evening, it's all about the mantra. So we immerse our mind and heart in that transcendental sound. We rest. We find the shelter that we are longing for in that sound. It's actually as easy and as simple and effortless as that. So let's move into the next one, the Garanga breath meditation, mantra and breath. If you want to, you can close your eyes. Gently place your awareness onto the sound, onto the music. It's especially designed by our musicians to bring you to a place of calmness, of focus. We want to immerse ourselves in these experiences tonight. Immerse ourselves in this breath meditation. We come to the Kirtan, immerse ourselves fully in the experience of the Kirtan, of the transcendental sounds. Take 2 or 3 nice, deep and long inhalations and exhalations, and with each breath letting go more and more of whatever tension or tightness you feel in your body, and whatever may be anchoring you in the mind, whatever thoughts or worries are there, just let them go. So we'll just spend a few moments relaxing the body on the inward breath, feeling a nice rejuvenation with each inward breath. And on the outward breath, let go a little more and relax a little deeper with each outward breath. Now we want to move into a practice that also helps us to let go of the worries and problems, fears, anxieties, which all reside within the mind. And we begin this process by stepping back from the stream of thoughts and being aware and actually experiencing how we are different from that stream of thoughts which moves through the mind. So we're actually watching, observing. There's different thoughts and feelings and plans. A whole lot of desires, regrets, anxieties. They're actually not part of me, the spirit soul, the Atma. The spirit soul or Atma is actually untouched by these goings on in the mind, in the body. We are transcendental to both the physical body and the material mind. these are not our real identity. We are the Atma, the part and parcel of the Supreme Atma, the Param Atma, eternal and spiritual in essence, full of wisdom and blissfulness is our nature. So to help step back from the mind, we practice this following meditation. I am the silent witness. I make no effort to think, but thoughts come automatically. I am watching the thoughts flow through my mind. I am aloof from them. I am the silent witness of my mind's activities. We can let go of all the troubling problems and thoughts when we stay in that place of awareness that I am the silent witness. Let us take 3 nice, long and deep breaths, and starting on the 3rd outward breath, let us dive into and fully immerse our mind, our body, ourself in that spiritual sound, that spiritual place. Let us inhale together. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. One last time.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare
Wunderbar.
How's everyone going?
Got a few people tuning in.
I actually dropped off the stream, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
How are we doing?
Where are we on wireless? We're on wireless. Okay.
So maybe let us know how the sound is and how the stream is.
They can let us know how the chanting is as well.
Definitely.
If they're, hopefully the fact they're joining in means that you'll like it. A few people to say hello to, or you didn't put on there?
I can see that Jug's watching with us.
Our drummer's watching. Is that a sort of narcissism or?
So we've lost all your comments from the other stream, so let us know. Yep, we're back. Sorry about that, just had some technical issues with the internet. It's just what we get with the setup occasionally. But we're very happy that we have some way of connecting with you all. So, yep, we've got a few people saying it sounds good.
Okay.
And, yep, just drop us a little comment to say hi and let us know where you're watching from. And it always makes us happy to know who's there and who we're chanting with. And now in the program, we usually have some time for some yoga wisdom. So Radhakrishna has something really nice that he's going to share with us now. So sit back and relax, and we'll have some more kirtan afterwards.
Yeah, hopefully not too long. Let's jump into the kirtan. So before speaking, let me take a moment to pay my respects and gratitude to my spiritual teacher, Jagadguru Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa, and to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nityananda, and to Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namini Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasade Gopakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so the thing that always comes up in my mind now that, particularly now my body is getting older, how every day is precious. Every passing moment is actually precious. You know, like when different stages of our life, we're either looking forward, to something in the future, some time, some birthday, some holiday, some event, some break from school or whatever it might be.
Sometime COVID's over.
Yeah, a time when COVID is over. So that's probably all ages, not just the young. But when we're young, there's particularly, there is this looking forward. And, sometimes there's like a hurry, when's it going to be Wednesday? And young kids, it's like, is it Wednesday yet? And it's a couple of days away. And then we kind of move into, a little bit older, they're kind of hitting towards the middle age kind of thing. And it's a combination of, starting to look back and reminisce a little on the things that you've done in your life. But there's still enough, time ahead to still be considering plans and this and that and where you're going to go. But when the body kind of hits around about, I don't know, different for everybody. For some people it might be in their 30s, I don't know, but in their 60s or 70s, that kind of time, you start seeing that there's an end date to this part of our journey, and there's a lot of looking back, usually more looking back and reminiscing than there is looking forward to future plans, depending on the person and their age and how their body's holding up. The things that we tend to look forward to is, when's my next doctor's appointment? Things like that. I'm getting this test, I'm getting the results back, from my test, to see how the body's holding up. So there's all these different stages of life. It would be good to have this throughout our whole life, but generally, as we get a little older in this body, we start to see how every moment, not just every week or every year, it kind of starts coming down to every week, and then into every day, and then every hour or so, and then ultimately it will hit a point where every moment is precious, and we start to get a little idea on the impermanence of everything material. Of course, there is no impermanence, there is permanence with the Atma, with you and I, because we are the eternal Atma. Everything outside of ourselves and the Supreme Soul is, in the material dimension, is impermanent. It has a beginning and an end. So this realization, this understanding, is meant to help propel us, motivate us to actually inquire deeper into the precious moments that we may have left and what to do with them. And because we are eternal, we are looking for eternality. We're looking for things to be permanent, not to completely change and slip from our grasp, whether it be things like youth, beauty, strength, health, finances, all kinds of things. So with that in mind, it's just a thought I was having today, and then how does this tie into our spiritual journey and what it's all about, and what is the ultimate goal and purpose of our spiritual journey? What is spiritual life? What is it that we are striving for? What is it that we are moving towards? Because by nature, the living being is progressive, always wanting to improve, always wanting something better. This is the nature. Creative people, maybe they musicians and they do a certain tune and they get, really happy with it, but still, it's not enough. The person still wants to create and go deeper into their, art. What comes to mind is you look at the Beatles. If you look at their early kind of music, it was very straightforward, simple, melodic, attractive. But as they matured, as they went forward in their careers, they didn't just rest on the laurels. Yeah, okay, love me, do, please me. Yep, we've done it, tick, done. Now we can just relax. There's an inner driving force that is moving the person to achieve more, to do better than what they have done in the past. And of course, as you see the albums, not just from the Beatles, but all longer-term, non-one-hit wonder bands are always progressing in their approaches to their music, growing and improving. That is springing from the soul. That is springing from you, the Atma, from the person, not just from the mind or the brain or the body or anything like that. This is the nature of the self. So ultimate, that feeling of wanting to progress, to move forward, to achieve, when it is directed spiritually, this is the perfect place for that creativity and desire to progress is best put. So then from there I was thinking about, well, okay, what can we talk about in connection with this? And I thought we'd touch on the idea of what is known as bhakti. I've got some nice things to read from Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, my spiritual teacher, from a book that he translated and commented upon, a very amazing sacred text called the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which means the nectar of devotion, the nectar of devotion, the sweetness of devotion. And bhakti yoga is becoming more and more popular in the yoga communities around the world, and in a broader, starting to kind of leak out of the yoga communities as well. But what is bhakti? Sometimes people think it is something, it's just an emotional, something where the person, sings or chants or does puja or does offerings, and they're trying to experience some kind of spiritual ecstasy. They're trying to experience some kind of spiritual emotion or connection where, sentiments and feelings and emotions are overcome them, and thinking this is actually what bhakti or bhakti yoga is. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada translated, so to speak, bhakti yoga as mean devotional service. So not just devotion, because devotion can just stay on the mental or emotional, sentimental platform. So he actually translated into English bhakti as meaning devotional service. Devotional service. And of course what's part of devotion means love. Love and devotion. You're devoted to something or someone that you love, and then service in connection with this. And, if you look at most people who take up some kind of religious life or spiritual path, we are usually interested, still self-interested. In material life, it's all about me. What I want to achieve, what I want to enjoy, where I want to go. I like this, I don't like that, I want to do this, I don't want to do that. So material life is pretty much centered around me. It's all about me. I, me, mine. So we enter into spiritual life and we may still, in fact do, bring this same kind of self-centered consciousness with us. And usually when people take up some kind of spiritual path, there are two reasons. They may be combined or they may not be. Usually they are combined. So a person feels maybe they're suffering in life, things are not going well, maybe their health is not so good. So let me take up some kind of spiritual practice, some kind of, particularly maybe joining some particular, church, temple, mosque, synagogue, or whatever it might be, some organization like that, some team. And then I pray to the Supreme. So my relationship with the Supreme is one of, dear God, please heal me. A lot of people, they have, healing sessions, and this attracts a lot of people because, maybe the medical profession hasn't been able to help them, or they can't afford it, or there's various reasons. So they take up some kind of, spiritual practice and pray and, petition the Supreme to, please, I have cancer, please cure me of cancer, or my wife has cancer, please cure my wife of her cancer, or my business is going downhill, my dear Lord, if I tithe, I give money to spread your words, and maybe you'll make it so that I get back more than I give. There's some ministries even promise that, whatever you give, you'll get back 100-fold. So this is still, the person is still interested in themselves, and it's in connection with what is known in yoga, in the Sanskrit text, as bhukti. This word bhukti means material situation, material enjoyment of the material senses in some way or other. So it still is in connection with, approaching the Supreme so that our material experience will improve and get much, much better. So this is why, some of us take up spiritual path. Now, a person may either simultaneously or in a different, approach spiritual life from a different angle, and that is, we all experience frustration in our life. We experience heartache, pain, there's death, there's diseases, there's broken hearts, there's all kind of calamities happen regularly in material existence to everybody, ultimately to everyone, rich, poor, black, white, Australian, Chinese, Japanese, whatever it is. Every single one of us has the calamities, at least of these four things: birth, disease, old age, and then ultimately death. So we're dealing, a person may kind of flash, wow, yeah, this is, this life is not how I want it to be. I'm suffering more than I want to. There's not as much enjoyment as I was hoping for. So they may take up some kind of spiritual practice to achieve what is known as mukti. Mukti means liberation, also could mean salvation, like, liberation from karma, liberation from sinful reactions, liberation from the wheel of birth and death. So I want to be saved from the suffering, both here and eternally, hereafter. In other words, we want to go to heaven rather than go to hell, just to put it in simple terms. So this becomes our focus of why we pray, why we maybe donate money, we engage in good works, or read the sacred text, all kind of things, engage in different ceremonies and mass and all of those kind of things, pujas in the Vedic tradition. with the end being that to enjoy now, God will supply me with good enjoyment, and then when I have to die, leave this body, then I will be in a better place, I'll be in a heavenly place and get to enjoy both here and hereafter. So this tends to be the interest of most of us who take up spiritual life. But what I want to touch on here, even if all I get to do is read this, it's a lot of food for thought. Bhakti is different than bhukti and mukti. In fact, they are not even in the same ballpark, as the saying goes. In bhukti, material, sensual enjoyment, and mukti, liberation from suffering and not going to eternal damnation, who is at the center of both of those desires, those goals? Still, the individual is still in the center of those experiences. I want to enjoy more, I don't want to suffer. So bhakti is actually the perfection of spiritual life, because although in the beginning there is still selfish, personal motive, by engaging in the practices of bhakti yoga, sadhana bhakti, especially as we're doing here, the chanting of the holy names of the Supreme, it purifies our heart and mind of all of this selfishness, self-centeredness, even if it's so-called in the realm of spiritual. So bhakti means devotional service. So what I thought I would do is read through some of this just to give us some really beautiful insight into what actually is bhakti. Bhakti means devotional service. Every service has some attractive feature which drives the servitor progressively on and on. Every one of us within this world is perpetually engaged in some sort of service, and the impetus for such service is the pleasure we derive from it. Driven by affection for his wife and children, a family man works day and night. A philanthropist works in the same way for the love of the greater family, and a nationalist for the cause of his country and countrymen. That force that drives the philanthropist, the householder, and the nationalist is called rasa, or a kind of mellow or relationship, whose taste is very sweet. Bhakti rasa is a mellow, different from the ordinary rasa enjoyed in the material experience. The bhakta yogi, or transcendentalist, realizes the presence of the Supreme by devotional service. So, in material life, being a servant or being, serving someone is considered to be not the goal of life. If you look at, how like parents or, like aunties and uncles always ask, young kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to go to university, or you want to, finish your high school, and, what do you want to do when you grow up? It's very rare, if it actually has ever happened in the history of the world, where the person says, I'd like to be a janitor and get to mop the floors in an office building somewhere. I want to be able to serve. I want to be a servant. That's my goal in life. How do you think the parents would be very happy about that? Yeah, that's a great ambition. So serving is not something that we kind of grasp and rush into as being a goal of life. Because, although we're reading here, everybody is serving. Because the soul, the Atma, we are active by nature. We are the active principle within this body. When we leave this body, so leaves the active principle. It no longer acts. So activity is actually the nature of the self, of the soul, of the Atma. We need to be active. That is our nature. So here, basically every job, even if you're working for yourself, self-employed, in every kind of job, everybody is serving. Everybody is serving. Now, in that service though, materially, in a material service, there is usually no happiness for anyone. There's no happiness for the person who is serving, because they may feel underappreciated. They may feel that they should be earning more money than they do for the work that they're doing. And if they don't, they'll quit, find a better job. So the serving in and of itself is not the goal. And of course the employer, maybe is unhappy with my service and they may sack me or give me a good talking to. So it's the relationship between the person being served and the person serving in material consciousness, material life, is not a happy situation for either one or the other. There's always this feeling in between. So this is not the nature of bhakti, because bhakti means loving service in connection with the Supreme Soul. So let me read on a little bit. Bhakti rasa, however, the mellow related in the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Soul, does not finish with the end of life. It continues perpetually and is therefore called amrita, that which does not die but exists eternally. So here we're going to something else. Generally people are anxious to see God. Like the atheist may say, can you show me God if God exists? Can you see God? Show me God. But God cannot be seen or known by our present materially blunt senses. The process of bhakti or devotional service will gradually elevate one from the material condition of life to the spiritual status, wherein the aspiring transcendentalist becomes purified of all designations. The senses can then become uncontaminated, being constantly in touch with bhakti rasa. When the purified senses are employed in the service of the Supreme, one becomes situated in bhakti rasa life. And any action performed for the satisfaction of Krishna or God in this transcendental bhakti rasa stage of life can be relished perpetually. When one is thus engaged in devotional service, all varieties of rasas or mallows, spiritual joy, turn into eternity. In the beginning one is trained according to the principles of regulation under the guidance of the Acharya or spiritual master, and gradually, when one is elevated, devotional service becomes automatic and is characterized by spontaneous eagerness to serve Krishna or God. So, as we read in the beginning, there is a rasa, or there is a reason, a motivation, an experience why, we're talking about the family person, the family man working day and night to provide for his family, and the businessman, etc., etc. There is a certain kind of rasa or mallow or experience or pleasure, commonly known as sense enjoyment. But as we know, sense enjoyment is also impermanent, it comes and goes, and therefore it does not fully satisfy my yearning or my longing. So when we understand this, there's so much here, I'm actually not going to be able to get to it all, I don't think. How's our time doing? Getting close to wrapping up. Try to understand this, at least this one point as well. We are active by nature, and to serve is the natural condition of each living being. So this is actually what we are striving for in our spiritual journey, our spiritual life, is to be connected to the Supreme Soul, to Krishna, through loving devotional service. Loving devotional service. So when we understand this word and the reality loving is part of this equation, so to speak, then it takes on a whole different meaning, and it is not something that is to be run away from, or to be scared of, or to reluctantly move to. When we understand it is all about love, because this is the nature of the soul, this is the nature of the Supreme Soul, the all love, and therefore we are part of the all love, so love is also our nature. So that love is expressed through pleasing the person whom you love. That love is expressed through pleasing the person whom you love. And this goes on even in what we might call material devotional service, if we can use that term. We derive pleasure from seeing the person whom we love happy. Is that not true? Is that understandable? We experience pleasure or happiness when the person whom we love is happy. This is, in its concentrated form, what spiritual life is. So when that person whom we derive pleasure from, when we see they are happy, is Krishna or God, the Supreme Soul, Paramatma, then we derive the greatest spiritual joy from engaging in those activities which bring pleasure to the Supreme Soul. Loving, devotional service, or bhakti. And in that condition, in the perfection of bhakti, the person no longer has interest in either bhukti or mukti. Whereas as we are moving forward to this perfection, to this purity, it is still what is known as mixed bhakti. I think it's called bhakti mishra, I think is the term, where I'm still motivated by a degree of bhukti and a degree of mukti, to varying degrees, but now I'm understanding the goal, which is bhakti, loving devotional service to the Supreme. So I am engaging in those activities which move me towards that goal, still carrying this other baggage with me along the journey, so to speak. But as the journey continues, that baggage becomes lighter and lighter. We begin to drop off a bunch of the baggage as we begin to taste bhakti rasa, the sweetness of loving devotional service to Krishna or God. The person who is on that platform of pure bhakti, pure devotional service, no longer has any kind of self-interest, either in connection with bhukti or mukti. Their whole purpose to their existence is to engage in the loving devotional service of the Supreme Soul. And their pleasure is derived from the service itself. So the serving is not an end, a means to an end. In fact, serving itself is the goal. So serving, devotional service, bhakti, is the means and also simultaneously the goal. In the beginning it's the means because I'm still covered by these different material designations, ignorance, nescience of my true identity, selfishness, self-centeredness. This is all still there. But then on its purest stage, the purest perfection of bhakti, this is one's consciousness. And they derive their pleasure from seeing the pleasure of the Supreme. So hearing and chanting these beautiful names of the Supreme purifies the heart and the mind of all of the contamination that we have accumulated in our journey through this life. All selfishness, self-centeredness, exploitative mentality, and not just these, but also other unwanted things such as fear, anxiety, worries, concerns, false identification with the body and mind as being myself. So many problems are also simultaneously removed as one actually comes onto the transcendental platform of bhakti, or loving devotional service to the Supreme. So maybe we'll leave it there and we can continue this maybe next week and give a bit more details and things like that. So thank you very much. I hope that was understandable. I was able to express it in a way that was clear enough. And as I said, we'll continue maybe next week. Namaste, everybody. So let's hop into some bhakti.
So this next Kirtan is a very beautiful bhajan written by one of our spiritual teachers, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And I'm going to pop the words into the chat. If anyone's wondering which chat we're monitoring, it's the Mantra Room Gold Coast. We're streaming to a bunch of different pages and to YouTube as well, and I've got you here on the Mantra Room Gold Coast, so that's where you can say hi. and we can see who's watching. So I've just dropped the words in for this next kirtan that we're going to do, and this kirtan is about another world. This kirtan is about a world far beyond this material dimension that we live in, far beyond the sufferings and the anxiety and the turmoil. This is a spiritual world, a spiritual dimension where Krishna lives, and it's a world of love where everyone is engaged in wonderful loving activities, loving pastimes with Krishna in different moods and different rasas and flavors. And this is actually a song of our eternal home, our real spiritual home. So please join in and sing along at home. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Rajajana Giri Rajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanajari Jaya Radha Madhava Rujari Hari Gopijana
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Thank you so much for chanting with us, everybody. Thank you for all your kind comments. We are very happy to have this opportunity to be able to chant with you all. And what we'd love even more is, if you look on here, there's a little share button. If you press that and just share with everyone you can, we would love to have these beautiful transcendental sounds go all around the world and beyond, infinity and beyond. So yeah, please share and share the love.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Siddha Swarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana, Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Madana, Mohana, Gopala, Madana Mohana
Gopala Govindara Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govindara Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govindara Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govindara Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govindara Madana Mohana
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody at home, you can stand up and dance and clap and sing. Let all the problems leave you behind. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, That was fun. We have more. Can never actually get enough kirtan. You could have kirtan all day and all night for eternity. That's our goal.
Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare, Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, 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 Hare, Hare. Why did we stop? What a great night. Thank you. It's an inspiration. Could tell you guys liked it.
There were a lot of hearts popping through at one
Was there?
stage.
Oh,
It was actually when you were singing.
because they feel sorry for me.
Not at all. Oh, shall we do one more, guys, or shall we just call it a night? What do you reckon?
Do our extended Emmy that we used to do.
Yeah, do the Hare Krishna. The spiritual life is thirsty work. Okay, we have more.
Comment and tell us where you're watching from. It's a dream of ours to have someone watching on every continent, including Antarctica.
And also vote on who is the best Kirtan leader tonight.
No, we're not going to do that.
Joking. Joking. You vote for all of them.
We vote for the holy names. You all ready? One should chant the holy names of the Lord in a humble state of mind, feeling straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respects to others in such a state of mind. One can chant the holy names of the Lord constantly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
One last one all together.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Namaste,
Ashraya, Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Siddha Swarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namini Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So nice to hang out with you on a Sunday night. Thank you for sticking with us. And if you like our Kirtan, you can always rewatch this, of course, but we have our own Facebook, Ashraya, and Instagram, Ashraya, and SoundCloud and Spotify. So please check out our music and our Kirtan and help share the love.
In case you're not sure, it's Ashraya. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did. Ashraya, Ashraya.
Notice there's a ray in there. I think we're done, and we've got stuff coming up, haven't we? We've got
there's an incredible. The next place that we're playing, apart from here, is at Yoga Day Festival, which is on the 21st of June, 21st of this month. If you hop on over to Facebook page Yoga Day Festival, you can sign up. I think they've got a 7-day Rise Up with Yoga challenge, and we're going to be live streaming from all around Australia, different teachers and Kirtan and wisdom talks.
Yeah. How long does it go for? 5 hours or something? Is that what
It's
it is?
quite a long.
Yeah, so
It's going to be a really nice experience. So Yoga Day Festival, pop over there.
21st.
And, check it out. It's
It's a
live
Saturday?
streaming.
No,
Live
Wednesday.
streaming on the Sunday,
Sunday.
the 21st of June, which is International Yoga Day, as named by the United Nations. So we'd love you to come and hang out with us on Yoga Day. Otherwise, we're here next Sunday, Friday. Kath is asking which date? 21st of June.
Wednesday the 21st.
Sunday the 21st. Friday the 31st.
Friday the 13th.
All right.
So that's straight, right? It's Sunday.
Sunday the 21st of June is International Yoga Day. We have a 5 or 6 hour festival streaming all day on Yoga Day Festival, and I think it'll be also shared on our other pages, co-hosted. So yeah, check it out, hop on over, register for the challenge, check it out, make sure you don't miss out. So it'll be very cool.
Thank you once again, and catch you soon.
And don't forget to share.